All right, what's up guys? Welcome to the video today. I'm going to be covering one of my leg days in my current programming, and you can follow along, copy it if you want, just to show you what I do as a natural lifter who loves bodybuilding but also wants to get athletic and be strong as well. That's kind of my goal here. So to start off the workout and just to explain how the split works in general, right now I'm doing an upper-lower arm day split. And the purpose of that is because main love is bodybuilding for sure. Don't really have any plans of stepping on a stage yet, but just love the training, to be honest, the style of training. But I also want to be, which I also want to say, I think that style of training is the most versatile because it makes you really strong. If you're doing it correctly, you shouldn't just get jacked, you get strong. You get athletic because now you have strong muscle tissues and strong joints, and you look better and you look jacked, which is awesome. So main meat of the workouts are going to be bodybuilding type movements, but to start most of the workouts I'm going to do some type of plyometric and some type of power movement. So think of that stuff as like 15 to 20% of the workouts, and then the other 80 to 85% is going to be the main hypertrophy work where we're working on strength and size. So to start this workout, this is my second leg day of the week, I did hip airplanes. I don't believe I filmed those, but that was to warm up. And then I did 3 sets of broad jumps. Now, as you see, these broad jumps are from the seated position, so the goal is to leave the ground as explosively as possible and quickly, and then leaping onto a pad. So if you have a pad, this is great because it not only trains you to jump far, but also make sure you're still jumping up, which is important for developing distance and jumping farther. I got this one from Dylan Shannon. Absolutely love it. Shout out him. My next exercise is leg extensions. If you haven't started out with leg extensions before and you always do it after your main squat movement or whatever, try this out. You absolutely destroy your legs. Doing 2 sets here, 8 to 10 reps, just absolutely go ham. Everything here is to failure. I believe in training to failure, not only because it's super fun, I just also think it's super effective for not having to do as much volume and getting the most out of your lifts. For some of my clients who don't like training to failure, not training to failure is still okay. Making sure you're just pushing close to failure and still going hard is important. But for me personally, I like to train all the way to failure. So you can either train all the way to failure and do less sets, or train close to failure and do more sets. It's kind of which one you want to do. Okay, after that, we're moving on to the main strength movement. This is going to be barbell RDLs, so I'm priming myself to get back up to stiff-legged deadlifts. So I did 2 sets of 6 to 8. I think actually ended up getting 10 reps on the RDLs with the 245 on there. So that was really good. That was a PR. So I did 2 sets there, really moved well. I'm happy with it. Trying to move on to doing some deadlifts here soon, so I'm excited about that. Next movement, we got the hip thrust. The hip thrust is one I have not been doing. I don't train glutes isolated very much, and I'm working on getting better at that because my glutes are freaking weak, man. They're honking weak, you know what I'm saying? So I need to work on that. But I did end up getting to 2 plates for 8 reps on that, which was pretty good for me. I used to be able to hip thrust more, but just like I said, I haven't been doing glutes at all, so trying to get back on that. And then we got leg press. This is going to be the other main leg quad movement and kind of like the squat compound for the workout. I did 4.5 plates for 8 reps here. Again, 2 sets to failure. Just push really, really hard. Make sure you get good range of motion. A lot of people like to throw 10 plates on the leg press and then half rep that shit. Don't do that. Make sure you're getting full range of motion. If we're strong in a big, long range of motion and we get a good stretch and we can hang out there and we're strong in that, then we're stronger than if we were to do more weight but only go halfway down. Also really good for your tendons and your joints, which helps you stay athletic and move well. And then the last thing, which I don't think I filmed, was hip flexor lifts, and I did these 2 sets to failure, and that's just trying to work on my hip flexors, just a weak point for me to help with my squats. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the leg day. What if I told you the past version of yourself would already consider you a success? The you 5 years ago, the little kid version of you, what if he got to see, or she got to see where you're at now? What would they think? What would they say? This is something, if you're like me, you know, someone like me, to look back and remember, because man, it can get so easy to get down on yourself or to think you're not doing enough, especially if you're a type A or overachiever, insecure overachiever, as Chris Williamson likes to call it. And I think it's so important to reflect and think on, and that's what I wanted to talk about here, expanding somewhat on what I talked about in my last video, really defining what success means to you. I think it's something that a lot of us have to ask ourselves. Keeping things in perspective is a great way to do that. Looking at what did I say 5 years ago that I wanted and where am I now is a great way to look at it, and how do I feel internally. For example, when I started out doing Instagram social media content, I was going to be ecstatic if I got to 1,000 followers. I never thought I'd reach 5,000 followers. I got to 10,000 followers, and the one thing I could think about is, how do I get to 50,000? It's not enough yet. I need 100,000. And that's when you have to start questioning what success means to you. I was talking about this with a client recently, and I think defining success on your own terms, not externally what other people say success is or what it's supposed to look like, is going to give you so much more clarity and make you feel so much better, because you want to feel good on the inside, internally. You don't want to chase, I need to do all this so that people look at me and go, wow, he's doing a good job. That means sitting down and asking yourself these deep questions. Another great one Chris Williamson said on his podcast, what would the 85-year-old version of you look back and wish that he would have done, or what would he tell you and how to live your life now? Would he tell you to go start that YouTube channel, or to leave that relationship, or to run that marathon? Or would he tell you to just relax, enjoy what you have now, laugh a little bit, relax your shoulders, enjoy the gym more, don't make yourself suffer all the time? These are some of the things that go through my head when I ask that question. And I think it's a great thing to reflect on, is as we build towards things and want to accomplish things, asking ourselves what success looks like on a daily basis, a weekly basis, and internally how we feel. And for me, that looks like what I was sharing on my reel, building a habit-based life, looking at what is the lifestyle I want to have. For example, I chose personal training because I may not make the most money right now, but I have a lifestyle to where it's 1 p.m. in the afternoon and I can be at my house recording this video before I go back and do a couple more clients. I get to be at the gym and wear shorts and a t-shirt and reschedule my clients if I want to go out on a date with my girlfriend. These are things, if we don't stop and think about things, we won't understand what we want, and we'll just chase blindly after what the world tells us we should get. So I think it's a huge thing to reflect on what success actually means to you. And then it comes with balancing that with still being ambitious, still having goals and wanting more for yourself, because we're on this life to live and achieve things. And I think that's where, for me, it becomes focusing on habits in a system-oriented than being goal-oriented. Focusing on the outcome and what's the next thing I can achieve will always keep you in the gap of unhappiness. But if I can stay in the gain of I'm hitting my daily, my daily habits that keep me happy, keep me feeling love, keep me feeling freedom, keep me inspired, and keep me content. For me, that might look like, okay, I know getting my workout in, I know spending some time either, playing a video game or hanging out with my girlfriend for a little bit. That's what success is to me. And so focusing on the system instead of the outcome is huge. Focusing on what does my day need to look like every day to be the person I want to be, to feel good about myself and feel happy, versus what do I need to achieve so that I can finally stop and say I'm happy. Because that will never end. You'll keep doing that. You'll keep getting this, okay, it's not enough, I need more. But if you can define what a good life looks like to you on a daily basis and then just start living that way, it doesn't matter with the outcomes. The outcome will come eventually, but you're not as worried because you're already content with the life you're living. Focusing on building the right habits. For me, I think a good start for most people, 3 daily essentials that need to happen. For me, it's getting a workout in, some type of workout, working on something I'm passionate about. So for this the YouTube video or my work, my business, so that I feel like I've accomplished something. And then 3 would be hanging out with either my girlfriend, my friends, or playing video games, some type of downtime where I get to spend me time is super important, because I think something we miss in this grind set world we live in is, especially if you're, again, similar to me, is you think you need to put away all your happiness and joy right now to make a bunch of money and get fame and success and everything, so that then you can play video games and enjoy and be happy and feel good about it. But the thing is that's just not true. Like, you're just going to end up making yourself, you're going to put yourself, like Chris Williamson said, in delayed gratification purgatory. Like, you just always have to permanently delay your gratification and never enjoy anything. So don't be afraid or feel guilty to also enjoy what you have now. Don't be afraid to hop on the game for an hour. As long as you know you were already doing things beforehand throughout your day that were successful to go where you want to go. Just some thoughts that I wanted to share, and hopefully can help you guys out. Anyways, until next time.